endemic in Nigeria, with 97% of the population living in areas of high risk. Today, we will evaluate the signs, symptoms, and severity of the disease, and of course, how to deal with it. Welcome to this edition of Health Plus. My name is Msa Yakubu. It is time to meet the doctor.
Malaria is a disease caused by the bite of the Anopheles mosquito, the female Anopheles mosquito to be precise. And when that mosquito bites you, there's a parasite that is carried within the body of the mosquito called the Plasmodium parasite. And then this parasite is transmitted via the bite of the mosquito to the human being. So once that happens, the human being harbors the parasite and can get sick if the human being's defense mechanisms are not working optimally. And this Plasmodium has different types of species. We have Plasmodium falciparum, which is the commonest species we have in Nigeria. We have Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium non-lesi, and Plasmodium malaria. And the most virulent, which is the most deadly of them all, is the Plasmodium falciparum, which we have in the commonest type that we have in Nigeria. Fortunately for us, because mosquitoes are so predominant in our environment, most of us are immune to it because we all harbor residues of this parasite in our systems. But when our immune mechanisms are affected, then we can come down with this disease entity called malaria. Malaria symptoms are non-specific, so you can't say that because the person has ABC, then they have malaria, because ABC could be any other thing. So for simple malaria, in quotes, there's nothing simple about it, but in quote, uncomplicated malaria, a patient will come and complain about fever. Fever means that their body temperature is higher than normal, normal being between 36.4 and 37.4 degrees centigrade. Anything higher than that we'll call a fever. So this person comes and complains that they are hot, so they have a fever. Sometimes they complain about bitter taste in the mouth. They complain that they cannot eat properly, they do not feel like eating. Some of them complain about stomach ache. There's generalized body pains. There's the feeling of nausea. They feel like they want to vomit. Some of them do go ahead and vomit. There's general weakness. All these are non-specific symptoms of malaria. Simple, uncomplicated malaria. But in the complicated cases, we have what we call prostration. That is, the patient is unable to move around. He cannot work on his own without assistance. There's severe headache such that he can't even open his eyes. Some of them may even go into a coma, that is, they are unaware of their environment. All these are complications that can occur. For some of them, we have what we call low blood levels, anemia. And these are also complications. And then we have the liver, especially in children. We have the liver enlarging, what we call hepatomegaly, or we have the spleen enlarging, what we call splenomegaly. All these are symptoms of complicated malaria that can occur in children. I know my colleagues will tell me that malaria is endemic in our society. That means it's everywhere. So the first thing you need to think about is malaria. True. But we have another enemy, Lassa fever, that comes and goes, and it has the same symptoms. So if you are not careful, you can be treating a case of Lassa fever and as malaria. So you need to run the test, and that is what the World Health Organization recommends, and that is what our national treatment guideline also recommends. major thing in the battle against malaria is actually prevention rather than treatment. It's a disease that can be prevented. So if we do all that is necessary to prevent it in the first place, we will not have to treat it. Like the white man says, prevention is better than cure, and a whole lot cheaper too. Malaria treatment lasts for 3 days. So if you are ill, you're tested and you're found to have malaria, the combination therapy lasts for 3 days. So you take the drugs morning and evening for 3 consecutive days, and after that you should feel better. If you're still not feeling better, then you probably were not treating malaria in the first place, or you were using substandard drugs. Now that's another problem that we have. A lot of our drugs are fake, and so we have fake substandard drugs being used to treat malaria, and then this will result in poorly treated malaria. Now if you treat properly, 3 days you're fine. That's for uncomplicated malaria. Now for complicated malaria, it depends on the symptoms that this individual came with. Are we treating a coma? Are we treating someone that was vomiting uncontrollably? Are we treating someone that has jaundice, which is yellowness of the eyes? Are we treating someone that has a high fever, or the lungs are swollen, what we would call pulmonary edema? Or is the person having difficulty in breathing? Now the length and the duration of treatment will be dependent on the complications of this case and how well the patient responds to treatment of these complications. So for uncomplicated malaria, 3 days is what you need to, that's the prescribed duration for therapy. And then for complicated malaria, it depends on the complications that you meet. The malaria parasite is harbored by the Anopheles mosquito, which surprisingly is a very clean animal. Okay, but it's a lot of things would predispose its growth. One of them is our environment. Bushy environment seems to enhance the growth of the mosquito. Water collections. We have a lot of old tins, old tires scattered around the environment, and these collect water during the rainy season. Gutters that are not properly cleared, all these collect water, and then the Anopheles mosquito lays its eggs there, and then these things grow. So when our environment is not properly kept, we actually proliferate the growth of the mosquito that harbors the parasite that causes us to fall sick. And then this mosquito bites between dusk, that is from 4 p.m. and dawn, early hours of the morning. That's when we get bitten by the mosquitoes and we can come down with malaria. And would agree with me that between 4 and 6, nobody's inside their houses, nobody's using mosquito nets at that time. So you get bitten by the mosquitoes, because another thing fallacy is that you say, well, I use mosquito nets, how come I still come down with malaria? Mosquito has already bitten you before you went under your mosquito net. So ways of preventing it, it's a multifaceted approach that you use. You can't do just one thing. So it's not enough for you to spray your room or use mosquito nets on your doors and your windows and sleep under a mosquito net. You have to do other things like keep your environment clean. Make sure you don't have long bushes around your environment. Make sure that your gutters are clean and do not harbor water. Make sure you do not have empty tins and old tires around your environment that can harbor water. All these are means by which you can prevent malaria. In the evenings, wear long clothes so that the mosquitoes do not have access to parts of your body. When sleeping, it's advised that you sleep under insecticide-treated mosquito nets, abbreviated as ITNs. We also advise that you have mosquito nets on your doors as well as your windows. Make sure that you keep these nets closed. If they are torn, please repair them. Also, also, we have what we call indoor residual spraying, IRS. This has been piloted in certain states in the country, and we're hoping it's something that can go across, where the walls of the houses are sprayed with insecticides that would repel these mosquitoes, and these last for about 3 months. So if you do that on a regular basis, you also help to prevent the mosquitoes from proliferating. So all of these must be done together. You cannot do one in isolation. So keep your environment clean, use insecticide-treated mosquito nets, spray your houses, wear clothes that are long-sleeved, keep your children from playing around outdoors in the evenings. And then if you do have symptoms, please go to a hospital, get tested before you're treated, and follow the directions of the doctor. Make sure you complete your treatment. Growing up, we used to advocate for Sunday. So you take your drugs on a Sunday, every Sunday, so that you don't come down with malaria. Now, in our environment, we will say that malaria is endemic. That means it is here with us. It is everywhere. Every Nigerian, if you test their blood, will have some element of parasite load in their blood. Not enough to get you sick. It actually helps you to build your immunity against the malaria. That is why individuals who have stayed outside the country for long durations of time, when they come back and they do have malaria, it hits them harder than those of us who have been in the country for years. That's because our immune system has battled against these parasites and built up its resistance. So the Sunday medicine actually lowers your resistance to malaria. So we don't advocate it, because if you continue to do that, when you do now skip those tablets that you take, it reduces your immunity and you are more susceptible to coming down with malaria. And then also, because we're now talking about combination therapy, those Sunday tablets were just one single type of drug, monotherapy. It doesn't work anymore because resistance has been built. But for those who are sickless, the immune system is less able to fight with it, so that when they do come down with malaria, it is more severe than those who are not sickless. So for them, we do advocate that the Sunday therapy is done. In fact, they have paludrin taken on a daily basis to prevent them coming down with malaria, because for them, the complications of that malaria is more severe and can often be deadly. So for them, we advocate that they take their drugs on a regular basis. But for the other individual who is not a sickler, we do not advocate the Sunday medicine anymore.
took tablets and injection. We put in nets in our windows and doors.
Initially, what I did was to do self-medication. But when it was persistent, I had to go to the hospital. They ran me some tests, and then no injection because of the previous drugs I took. So what they did was to give me more drugs in addition to what I already took. Though we have nets all around the windows and the doors, but we still use insecticide every night.
I oftentimes use mosquito net, and sometimes or most times before sleeping I use mosquito spray. This with a dream, that's what I use. So I use it from both ends. The mosquito killer kills the mosquito while the mosquito net prevents the mosquito from coming in. So in a nutshell, that's
otherwise known as Waka.
This is Health Plus. Today, searchlight on universal healthcare. What does it mean, Ifecho?
It's good to sing praise unto our God, for it is pleasant and praise is comely.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode on Youth Arena.
Another exciting episode in Top 7 Jams. It's your girl Pearl. You are watching NTA Benin, Channel 7. For your breaking news, program sponsorship and participation, contact our marketing department. Follow us across our social media pages on Facebook, NTA Benin 1, on Twitter, NTA Benin 1, on YouTube, NTA Benin.
Yes, it is an infectious disease, because what happens is that the mosquito bites an individual who has the parasite within them. It takes it into its body and it goes and it bites another individual and transmits that parasite to that individual. So it is moving the parasite from one person to the other. In that way it is infectious, but not infectious in the sense that when I touch you, you get malaria if I have malaria. No, it's infectious in the sense that the mosquito bites you, picks up the parasite within you and goes to bite another individual and transmits that parasite. I would like to say yes, but no, we are not. It is becoming more of a nightmare. We are having unwanted cases. Every minute an African child is infected by malaria. We're losing more children under the age of 5 to malaria than we need to. We're losing more women than we need to malaria. And so we are advocating that people take malaria seriously. Yes, it's mosquito, it's small, but it can cause a lot of harm. So please, as a pregnant woman, during your antenatal care, you must remember to go for antenatal care. You are giving preventive therapy for malaria. Please make sure that you take it. There are 3 tablets in one. 3 tablets you take at once, and you take it twice during the duration of your pregnancy. Please make sure that you take it, because you're not saving only yourself, you're also protecting your baby. Because one thing we haven't talked about is how malaria can be transmitted. Apart from being transmitted via the bite of the mosquito, you can also transmit it from mother to child. So a woman who is pregnant, who has malaria, can transmit that malaria to her unborn child, and the child comes out with malaria. It is often deadly. It can also be transmitted via needles in the hospitals. If you inject an individual who has malaria and you use that same needle on another individual, you can transmit it. So for drug users, people who use drugs, cocaine and the likes, and share needles, they can transmit malaria like that. For people, you can also transmit malaria by blood transfusion. Unfortunately, when we donate blood, we do not screen for malaria. But we are thinking that more studies should be done to show that load, so that treatment for malaria should be part of the treatment you give an individual who has a blood transfusion carried on, because you can actually transmit malaria infection through blood transfusion. Also, when we have organ transplants, so when we're transplanting a kidney or we're transplanting any other organ of the body, you can also transmit malaria from one person to the other. So what we call prophylaxis, preventive therapy, is essential in this case.
That's it on today's broadcast. My name is Msa Yakubu. This is hoping that you will stay away from everything that will make you get down with malaria. Until our next episode, make sure you stay healthy and take care of you.